Dependency determination and integration is an essential tool and technique in the process of sequencing tasks. In order to ensure the project activities are carried out in the right sequence and in order to efficiently accomplish the project's goals. This process includes defining and documenting the links and dependencies between project activities. Project managers can ensure smooth coordination, reduce delays, and maximize resource utilization by accurately identifying dependencies and incorporating them into the project plan. Dependencies have four attributes, and these are mandatory dependencies, discretionary dependencies, external dependencies, and internal dependencies. Let's discuss each of them. Mandatory dependencies. Mandatory dependency is a type of dependency that represents a strict and non negotiable relationship between two tasks. It indicates that one task must be completed before another task can start or continue. It is typically based on external factors, project specifications, or limitations imposed by regulations, standards, or contractual obligations. For example, in a pharmaceutical project, obtaining regulatory approvals from the relevant authorities may be mandatory before commencing the production phase. Mandatory dependency is also referred to as a hard logic dependency or a hard constraint. Technical dependencies may not be mandatory. The project team determines which dependencies are mandatory during the process of sequencing the activities. Mandatory dependencies ensure that the project progresses smoothly in projects where tasks have a strict sequential workflow. For example, in manufacturing, assembling components must be completed before the testing and quality assurance phase can begin. To achieve successful project delivery, managing mandatory dependencies necessitates precise identification, documentation, risk management, good communication, and contingency planning. Mandatory dependencies should not be mixed up with assigning schedule constraints in the scheduling tool. Then we have the discretionary dependencies. Discretionary dependency is also known as a soft logic dependency, preferred logic, or preferential logic. It is a type of task dependency that is established based on the preferences, best practices, or expertise of the project team. Discretionary dependencies are not imposed by outside forces or limitations, as in contrast to the mandatory dependencies. The project manager or other team members decide on them in order to maximize project performance, resource utilization, or the achievement of certain project goals. Project teams are allowed to change or adapt these dependencies as necessary to achieve project goals, work within resource limitations, or respond to unexpected circumstances. Discretionary dependencies must be explicitly stated in the project schedule or plan. These dependencies should be reviewed and updated as the project develops, taking into account any modifications to the specifications, limitations, or team dynamics. For example, in software development projects, the team may choose to follow an iterative development approach, where the completion of each iteration is dependent on the review and feedback from stakeholders. Discretionary dependencies provide flexibility, but they may introduce hazards. The project schedule and resource allocation may be negatively impacted by modifications or alterations to these dependencies. The influence of discretionary dependencies on the critical path and overall success of the project must be continuously reviewed and assessed in order to analyze and reduce these risks. See you in the next lecture.